Hey first graders, Mr. Bell here. All right, let's get started with our next project. And that is going to be cutting and gluing some life-size food onto a plate. All right, you may remember before you did a project where you drew some two-dimensional food on a plate and then colored it in. And it's two-dimensional, remember, because you can get a side-to-side measurement and an up and down measurement. But you can't get a front and back measurement because there really is no side to this. It's just a shape on a flat surface. Okay? Side to side, up and down, no front to back. That's two-dimensional. You can only get those two measurements. But with a real cookie, you could get a side-to-side measurement, an up and down measurement, and it's got a thickness to it, so you can get a front-to-back measurement also. You see that all right? There we go. 3 measurements, and this is three-dimensional, or 3D. Okay? Now, let's take a look at what you're going to be doing. Let's zoom in a little bit. Watch out for the sound. Zoom in sometimes. Alright. Now, on this project, these are flat shapes. Like this cookie here, it's flat. And some people might say that's 2D because it's really flat. And you could, let me take the chocolate chips off here, and you could put this on your hand and you could do the clap test. You can clap, it's still flat. But really, actually, a sheet of paper, if you can hold this in your hand, it's actually also three-dimensional. It's not a drawing on a flat surface. It's an actual object you can hold. And it does have a side-to-side measurement. It's got an up and down measurement. And it does have a thickness. It's super duper thin, but it does have a thickness. You can measure it. That's it's really even less than a millimeter thick. Okay? But it is still a measurement, as thin as it is. It's about as thin as a hair. Okay, so this actually is a three-dimensional. All right? And you're going to draw, cut, and glue your food onto a plate. If you don't have construction paper, you can use a regular sheet of white paper and you can draw it and color it in with crayon or marker, and then cut it and glue it down. So it'll work that way too. Alright, you just need to get some orange crayons, some yellow crayons, or markers in green and brown, and you can draw your chocolate chips on there with a black marker or a brown marker, and use a little black marker to do your seeds and all that stuff. Okay, so that's okay. You don't have to have construction paper to do this. It'll work just with regular white sheet of paper and coloring. Cutting and gluing, so you're going to want some glue and some scissors and a pencil, and again, marker and crayon if you don't have construction paper. Alright, so this is how it's going to work. We are going to make a chocolate chip cookie and some strawberries, and you see the blueberries and a carrot, and there's the leafy part. I haven't glued any of this down because it has to go underneath, and some ketchup and french fries. Alright, let's get these off the carrot, put them over to the side, and I'm going to show you how to make all of this stuff. They can go off the paper too, like this. It's okay. It'll make it look more 3D if some of the stuff's going off the edge. There we go. It's hard to get this stuff to move sometimes. It gets really stuck to the paper. Alright, and move these strawberries over. There's the leafy part. So you want to cut these kind of longer, so that'll go on top. You just glue these on there, like that. And put your cookie, and put your chocolate chips on there. You don't have to do this many. There we go. I would, after you're done cutting and gluing, I would place, before you glue, I would place all of your stuff on the plate first, then glue one thing at a time. That way you know it's all going to fit. Okay? So there we go. I've got it all fit on here really well. Let's move this over a little bit. All right, so here we go. First we need a paper plate. Get the paper plates here. And just put this to the side. All right, if you don't have a paper plate, you can draw a big circle on a sheet of paper and pretend it's a plate. And we're going to start with this cookie and get something circular that you can trace. Or if you want to, you can draw your own cookie. Either way is fine. I'm going to hold this down and I'm going to trace it. I would use a pencil, but I'm going to use this marker so you can see better. Here we go. All right. And I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut just inside that black line so you don't see it. Actually, it doesn't really matter because I can flip it upside down. Make sure your thumb's in the small hole and your fingers are in the bigger hole. Just go up and down. If you do smaller cuts like this, then you'll probably get a better circle. So don't do really long cuts. Do smaller cuts. Shorter cuts. All right. Then, notice I'm flipping it over because you can see you might see your pencil line or if you use a marker or a black edge, you want to flip it over like that so you don't see it. And I've got a black sheet of construction paper here. Again, if you don't have that, you can just get a marker and draw your little shapes. If you don't have brown construction paper, cut out a white paper, color it brown, and then draw the chips on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and you can do your little chips like this, your little chocolate chips. You can make them roundish. Or you can go like this, cut a piece off like this, and then cut some little squares out. Sometimes chocolate chips are very square looking. And then you can place them on there where you want. All right. Next I'm going to work on my carrot. And I am going to draw, and I'll use a marker again so you can see better. I'm going to use pretty much this whole sheet of paper. Notice it's bigger here, smaller down there. And I'm going to cut this out. All right. Okay, put my trash over here. And I am going to make these lines on here, make it look more 3D anyway. Those little ridges on the carrot like they have. And I'm going to put a little dark area there. Put this down. Now I'm ready for, notice I flipped it over. I'm going to draw the leafy part of the carrot and then the little parts for the strawberries. And I'm going to cut these into sections and start cutting. These out. All right, I'm cutting from this side towards the middle there. All right, there's all my trash. Get that out of the way, and I'll flip that over. Put this behind. So I'll glue that right on there like that. These are the little parts for my strawberries. The little leafy green part. And that's what I'm going to work on next. Are my strawberries and the ketchup. So here we go. I'm going to put a freeform shape for the ketchup. Put a wiggly line around like that. And my strawberries. It's kind of like a heart shape almost, but it doesn't go down to here. And strawberries can be different sizes, so there we go. All right. And go ahead and start cutting these out. ketchup in the strawberries. That's the next part. Alright, get this ketchup all cut out. Trash out of the way. And now I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to have my french fries and my ketchup over here. And I think I'm going to put my strawberries on this side actually. Now I'm going to take these, I'm going to flip these over, and I'm going to get my pencil and draw these little shapes for the seeds. And on this one, some near the edge. There we go. We'll zoom in here so you can see these. Alright, and lay them on. Put one over here. There's my strawberries, the little leafy part. Now it's time for the french fries. Okay. These are real easy. All you need to do is just cut along like this. You can make some shorter ones too. How thick or thin you want to make them, that's up to you. They come in all different sizes, don't they? I'm going to cut this one in half. I think that would be enough. And I'm going to have some overlapping. Some will be on the ketchup, some will be off the ketchup. You can make more fries if you want to, but I'm not going to put too many. There we go. There's my french fries, and the last part is the blueberries. So, oops, sorry. Make sure this is showing up on the camera. And I'm going to draw some circles here. Make some smaller ones. Some blueberries are really big. It depends. I think 5 ought to be enough. And I'm going to start cutting these. You're going to have to use really small cuts. Get these circular. You want these to look like geometric shapes. I'm going to make them look round. And I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put that little shape that you see and color it in. On blueberries, they have this little part on them. Yeah, that little star looking thing. And color it in really good. And start placing some of my blueberries around here. I might only put 3. I don't know. I'll place them around. I've got a few spaces here to put some more. So I'm going to do that next. Alright. And this time I'm going to put this little star shape, just half of it on the side. Like the blueberries turned a little bit. And I'm not going to put any on these. I'm just going to glue these down. There we go. Alright. Then it is time to glue it all down. So, you know, something about when you glue, oops, got my cap on, I have to unscrew it. You don't need that much glue. Don't use too much. This will go here, and then I'll put the line down the middle, not too much. You don't need tons of glue. Press down gently. Like these french fries, I'm just going to put some in the middle and just push down like that. I want them to stick up a little bit. And like when you do your blueberries, I use a tiny little dot there. I'm going to put a little bit right here. And a little bit up here. And just glue that right down. Like this. And the cookie and these little chocolate chips. Just do a tiny little dot. And just keep gluing till it's all down there. And, you know, have fun with this. Can't wait to see yours. Carrot, ketchup, french fries, chocolate chip cookie, blueberries, strawberries, all the leafy parts. Alright? Alright, you have a good time with this. Alright, I'm going to log off now and finish gluing mine down. I can't wait to see yours. Have fun with this. Bye-bye.